gorgeous Capricorns, it is that time again. This is Debs, and of course this is your reading for June 2025. Cabby, thank you so much for being here. It is much appreciated, and thank you guys for supporting the channel and for supporting others in the comments. I do notice. Now Capricorn, in meditation, very interesting. I saw a professional swimmer doing front crawl. And when a swimmer does front crawl, they take a stroke with their hand, they lift their head to one side, breathe a gulp of air, and then their head goes back in the water and they carry on, right? Which means that they can swim really, really fast while still being able to breathe air. Archangel Michael, after meditation, then showed me the Ace of Swords and then the Ace of Cups. And of course, air represents swords energy and water is cups energy, emotion. So what I think, Capricorn, you have been trying to do is balance logic with emotion. You may, though, have been trying to decide how to manage a situation. Do I go full force into this with logic? Or do I really get in touch with my emotion? You may be finding it difficult to integrate the two, as a swimmer does, right? Air and water. You may find it difficult. So Capricorn, whatever this pertains to be, let's move into this. This is the Witch's Tarot, guys. Everything you need is down below. Do forgive the audio, by the way, if it's slightly echoey. I have got a soundboard up, a sound blanket up, sound curtains hanging at the window, but I'm recording in a room with a low-beamed ceiling and floorboards, so it's very different than the place I used to be. I'm on the case, okay? All right, Capricorn, here we go. So, Archangel Michael, can you tell us more about the situation for my Capricorns, please, that might resonate with this? You want to progress forward, Capricorn. You want to keep your flow, but you don't know how to manage the situation. Do you take a logical approach? Do you take an emotional approach? Okay. Thank you, Michael. I'm seeing in my head 1010. Now 0 is the God Force number, 1 represents new beginnings, and of course 10 represents an ending and the beginning of a new cycle. You may be feeling, Capricorn, ready to jump into something new after an ending, or you may be wanting to wrap up a serious cycle that you've been in. Michael's saying not serious, significant cycle you've been in, but you're not quite sure how to handle it. Okay. But I keep hearing you don't want to stop your flow. You don't want to stop your flow. Okay. All right. There may be two. Sorry, Archangel Michael showing me the swimmer lanes in a pool. You may want to close out a cycle successfully whilst beginning something new, almost at the same time. The Hangman, Pisces energy. You are trying to see somebody's point of view, somebody's perspective. You may be thinking of a Pisces at this time. There's been some kind of enlightenment, Capricorn, about a situation. You may know somebody is stuck, or you may feel stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Oh my goodness, karma. Capricorn, you may be feeling that somebody here should reap karma, but there's also a sense that you might feel sorry for someone here too. It's a very strange energy I'm picking up on. You may feel there are certain things this person did that were not right, or they got their just desserts, or they landed themselves in a difficult situation, but another half of you, Cappy, may feel, well, It wasn't purely their fault. They were dealing with difficult circumstances. You may be trying to see this person's perspective. Okay. In the past, Three of Wands. In the past, Cappy, you were ready to embrace change. You were looking out across that ocean. You wanted forward movement. Or you may have been thinking about somebody who lived at a distance from you. After that time, Caps, there was a sense of heartbreak. Wow. There was a sense of you feeling as if you were either put in a heartbreaking situation. You wanted progress, but if you made the right decision for you, it wouldn't be the right decision for someone else, or someone else who might have been sacrificing would sort of get the short straw. I'm hearing it was complicated. Okay. In your thoughts, the Six of Pentacles. Capricorn, you may be thinking about the concept of equal give and take, or you may have been trying to do your best, but you may have ended up breadcrumbing someone and felt, well, not exactly they deserved it, but they may not have been as supportive as you would like for them to be. So you may have had to make a difficult choice. I either give quite a lot to one person and kind of have to breadcrumb the other if I'm going to make a serious difference here in a situation. Or you may be thinking, Capricorn, that now you want to sort of redress the balance, realizing that someone here is stuck. You want to do your best, Capricorn, but you don't want to take an action which is going to cause you to sort of break your flow, which is going to cause you problems. It's as if you want to do the right thing, but you don't want it to prevent you from doing what you want to do either. In the immediate future, the Moon. You're hiding the fact that you feel very emotional about this, Capricorn. You may have tried to stay on the surface of the water, think logically, but, you know, the Moon is about emotion. You may have held a torch for someone for quite a long time, and you may feel they let you down. Or you may be shining a light on the fact that someone here is sacrificing. And even though you may feel to some extent they are reaping some kind of karma, maybe you feel they got themselves into a situation, why should you help them out? This could be somebody that you care about, could be your child. Or this is someone that is very close to your heart and you don't want to see them suffer. Again, do you take a logical standpoint? Well, if they hadn't have done that, then they wouldn't be in the situation. Or do you lean on your emotion? Yes, but I care about this person. They're going through a tough time, so I want to help. Oh. Cappy, it's difficult for you. In your fears, Five of Pentacles. Capricorn, if you do help this person out, I think that's what we're looking at. Now, guys, this could be a friend, it could be a mentor, could be a family member, could be anyone, could be an ex that you still got on well with, could be a baby mama, I don't know. Whoever you are in the mix, male or female, you are worried, fearful that on the one hand, if you don't help this person out, they're going to sink, maybe financially. If you do help this person out, it's going to leave you seriously depleted, which may affect your future plans. So this is a challenge. In their energy, yeah, interesting. Seven of Pentacles. They are looking at past mistakes. So Capricorn, if you wondered whether or not this person did recognize that something that they did in the past caused them to feel stuck, you are right. They do feel as if they are, at least in part, to blame. If I hadn't have taken that road, I wouldn't be in the situation now. They may, though, be concentrating on building up their savings if this is financial. I think it is. Whatever's going to happen here, and of course we'll figure it out, in your hopes, Cappy, is the Four of Cups. Whatever decision you make, whether you make a logical decision, okay, this person needs to sort themselves out, or whether or not you make an emotional decision, okay, I have to do something, you're really hoping, Capricorn, that it's appreciated, that this person doesn't take what you're wanting to offer them for granted. But on the other hand, if you decide not to help them out, let them get themselves out of their own situation, let this person learn the lesson. I'm not going to help this person out financially, right? Something like that. You may be hoping that if you make that decision, there's not going to be a sense of guilt. Yes, but I should have done, right? Because I'm their brother or their father or their grandfather. I'm getting a very strong masculine energy, Cappy. Okay, that's why I'm saying that. You're worried, Capricorn, that if you leave this person sort of stuck, you're going to regret it. You're going to look back in years to come thinking, I could have helped them and I didn't, you know? So Caps, in the outcome, Page of Wands. There's going to be some good news. Now, Capricorn, if you wanted to help this person but you felt that you would be depleted if you did so, there may be some good news coming in. It could be from a fire sign, which means that you could comfortably help this person out whilst not in danger of depleting your own finances. Clarification for you, King of Cups. Alrighty. Nine of Wands. Oh, Capricorn. Yeah. I think what you've been trying to do is tell yourself this person needs to handle their own life. If they made decisions which have caused them to sit in this self-sacrificing energy, I should sort of back off and let them deal with their own life. The problem, Capricorn, is with the King of Cups, you care about this person. You've tried to stand your ground. You've tried not to get emotional about this. You've tried to think about this logically, but it's as if you would feel so guilty if this person's life crumbled when you knew you could have helped them, right? Now, they're looking at their past mistakes. They are looking at savings. They do have some savings. This is someone, though, who I think maybe from this point onwards is going to be super careful with their money. This might have been somebody who overspent in the past, got themselves into trouble, and then has asked you to sort of help them out. And this is you as a dad or a family member thinking, well, I could, but I don't want to end up in the Five of Pentacles myself, right? You may have duties and responsibilities yourself, Cappy. So clarification for whomever this is, who is stuck here, self-sacrificing, Temperance. They've been patient. They're also guided by the angels. They're guided in particular by Archangel Michael. The Nine of Swords. On the outside, Capricorn, they may seem as if they're doing okay. You know, I'm working really hard. I'm making sure that I keep hold of my savings. It's going to be all right. I plan on growing new seeds. I'm sure that things are going to improve. But on the inside, when the door is closed, when they're on their own, when it's late at night, they are really, really stressing. They're not sleeping. Okay, guys, underneath the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. The Ten of Cups. Wow. Very unusual to have these two next to each other. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. I think this is a family situation. But then we have the Ace of Swords. Interesting. The Ace of Swords came through in the vision, you being logical. But look at where it's getting you. Ten of Wands. Now, this could be you knowing the truth, that this person's trying to put on a brave face, but actually they're just coping with too much. It may be, Capricorn, that if you're in a 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles situation, now that could be as a single person, a single mom, single dad, whatever this is, you're doing okay, you're happy, right? Money's good. Or you could be literally mom and dad, and this is one of your children. Up until now, Capricorn, you've tried to look at things logically. Well, everybody's got to learn their lessons. Everybody's got to take responsibility. But you may feel they have tried their best, or they're doing their best. And you may also feel that there were circumstances that were beyond their control, which has meant that things are now not as stable for this person as they were before. I don't know, Caps, they could have lost their job. They could have worked really hard on a business, but it's just not taken off. So you may feel, well, yes, I mean, you know, when things were good, they should have saved more money, but you may also know, well, it wasn't their fault they lost their job or was made redundant, or it wasn't their fault the business went under. They worked really hard. It's just circumstances, you know, things change. So you have been sitting there thinking, what do I do? Do I take a logical approach? Do I delve into my emotion and think, this is somebody I care about, I've got to do something? I think things are going to be made easier for you though, Caps, because there's good news coming in unexpectedly. So let's just jump in and see what else comes through. What is the Hangman and Karma for Capricorn? This is not you, Cappy. This is someone you're thinking about. Could straight up be a Pisces or a Cancerian. Sag here too. Okay. Don't know why I did that. King of Pentacles. This is you, Cappy. You're coming through as a masculine. You're coming through as a masculine. What are you thinking about? The Ace of Pentacles. You're thinking about a large amount of money. Or you may be feeling, Capricorn, that this person may have to move. It may be you feel as if they're not going to be able to afford to stay where they are. What are you concerned about? Okay. Page of Pentacles. This could be a child of yours. What you're concerned about, Capricorn, is up until this point of time, you've given this person a little bit of money, a small amount, but it's not enough to lift them out of what might be a challenging situation. Eight of Swords, you're in your head. You're in your head about this. So whatever you have done for this person up until this point of time has not been much. I mean, if you felt this person was floundering, then you may have, I don't know, transferred 1,000 into their account. But what you're thinking about is, well, yeah, but, you know, that's hardly going to cover a month's rent. So you've done a little bit. You've done what you can, but you know it's not enough. You know it's not going to be enough to help this person to the point that they need it. You're in your head, Capricorn. Oh, this is so difficult. Could be somebody at a distance, okay? You may be in your head thinking, if this person sinks, they're just going to have to come and live with me. For some of you. And this is you in the nicest sense thinking, it's going to be awkward, right? It's going to be difficult. You may be thinking, Capricorn, that this person is going to get to the point where they've got no other options left. You're going to be the person that they come to. Let's have a look at the past. Three of Wands. You were thinking about whoever this is from a distance. I think you knew, Capricorn, that they weren't happy. You knew they weren't happy in the past. Empress. This could be a woman who's older. She could be a Taurian or a Libra. You could be a much older dad. Or you may, if you were married, have talked to your wife about this. What do we do? You know, what do we do for this person? Or it could be, Cappy, if this is a child and you'd separated from your child's mother, you might have talked to your child's mother about this. I think we need to help our child, you know, they're not going through a good time, but should we just let them sort their own lives out, or should we transfer a lump sum of money? You know? Three of Pentacles. Maybe if we sort of pull a couple of other family members together, we could come up with a bit more money for this person. We need to work in partnership to help them out. Cappy, I think you didn't do a great deal in the past, but you did give this person a small amount. It's as if, well, hang on. Let's just see if we give them a small amount, whether or not they can get back on their feet, or whether or not they're still going to be sort of sitting on the fence as to, gosh, you know, I'm not going to be able to support myself. You were sat in heartbreak. It's as if I just don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. The worst thing was, Cappy, I think this person lives at a distance from you. Four of Wands. Yeah. It might even have been a situation, Capricorn, where with the energy of the world, if this person was trying to pay a mortgage or trying to pay rent, what you were thinking about was world, Four of Wands. They're going to have to sell the house if they can't afford the mortgage, or they're going to have to end their tenancy and come back home to live with me or with you and your wife. You might even at some point, Capricorn, have thought, if you had a property, maybe I should sell my property or release equity or something like that to help them. Yeah. Because if you did that, a fresh cycle would start and this person would be materially safe. There would be more than enough money for this person to feel, oh, thank goodness, I don't have to worry about mortgage payments anymore. This would have been a large amount of money. But that was just in your thoughts. That was just what you were considering. Okay, and then there was a Tower moment. So this was all in your mind, Capricorn. What was the Tower moment? People falling off the tower here. God. Okay, I think the Tower moment, Capricorn, was this person messaging you again from a distance, basically to say, I am standing at crossroads. I'm standing at crossroads. I don't think I can do this anymore. I've realized that financially I'm not going to be able to cope. And I think, Happy, it put a lot of pressure on you and maybe other family members because you realized that this was quite serious. What you're thinking about now in the nicest sense is, I know I breadcrumbed this person. I know I only gave them a small amount of money. I could have done more. What you're thinking about is, should I find some way of trying to give them a little bit more money? You know, can I do this without selling my house or something like that? Oh, yeah. Six of Cups. You're thinking, you could be thinking of children. 2 children here, 2 children here. You're looking at the past, Capricorn. The Fool. Could be thinking of an Aries. Cappy, you may have made some kind of move in the past that was a bit risky. What was that move in the past? What did you do in the past? Okay. You made a risky move in the past, Capricorn, which meant that later on you had to juggle money. I don't know whether or not you put money into an investment fund and you didn't get any return, or whether or not you ploughed money into some kind of scheme and you lost money. You made some kind of move in the past, Cappy, and it wasn't the right thing to do. It left you depleted. It left you depleted. The High Priestess. You didn't tell anyone about this, Capricorn. But you may feel very strong Pisces here. Hangman, High Priestess, or could be a Cancerian. You may feel this person got the wind up. The person who's now struggling. And so they sort of expect you to help. Well, I know that my dad did something really stupid with, say, the family money or a large amount of money. That's why my dad can't help me out now. You may feel there's a lot of expectation from this person. Now, if this is nothing to do with the water sign, then this is you taking a leap of faith and a risk, but what you ended up doing was juggling 2 pentacles and you kept it to yourself. So there was some kind of situation that you got yourself into which caused the loss of money, okay? In the immediate future, the Moon and the 7 of Pentacles. You're sat firmly in the Moon. You want to be logical, or up until this point of time, you have been logical. Let them sort their own life out, right? But you can't help but feel emotional. Now, I don't know, Cappy, whether or not it's because you knew in the past you could have helped them out financially and you didn't, and then you made a massive financial mistake, which means now it's going to be very difficult to help this person. You've got deep feelings about this, but it's as if your logic is fighting your emotion. 7 of Pentacles, this person is looking at past mistakes. They know they should have saved more money, or they shouldn't have dropped the 9 to 5 to start a business, or they shouldn't have moved into such an expensive house, or got a mortgage, or signed on the dotted line for expensive rentals. You feel, Capricorn, that they are looking back, believing that they should have saved more. With the energy of Temperance, they are trying to remain calm. They're trying to think positively. They are taking care of the savings they have left. They're trying to build on that. But behind closed doors, they are highly stressed. They are highly stressed. So Archangel Michael, when do we have the Moon and the 7 of Pentacles for Capricorn? Thank you, Michael. Imminent. Imminent. Okay. Capricorn, you may be, if this person lives at a distance, you may be traveling to see this person very soon. It's almost as if you want to see firsthand what type of situation they're in. Are they really on the breadline? You want to see them face to face. Let's have a look at this person's energy. The 3 of Cups. They're looking forward to seeing you, Capricorn. They may be getting very excited, telling friends, oh, my dad's coming to see me, or my mum and dad. It could be you and your partner. They're very excited to see you, Caps. Oh, bless them. Chariot. Okay, could be a Cancerian. This is someone who is telling people that you're coming to see them. Oh, bless this person. It's as if, you can imagine a child, or even an older child saying, I'm so excited, dad's coming to see me, or mum's coming to see me, or they're both turning up, right? Oh, okay. Ace of Wands. They are expecting, Cappy, for this to herald a different cycle for them. So they are expecting you to do something. But what they're telling themselves is, if Capricorn can help out, I'm going to be super careful with this money. I'm going to be really creative and see if I can make this work. So if you can do something more, Capricorn, not only is it going to be really appreciated, maybe even more than it was before, but they're going to be very, very careful with this money to make sure that they don't spend on anything they don't need. They just concentrate on the essentials, right? Their rent, their bills, their mortgage, whatever this is. and they try to keep as much in savings as they can. It's almost as if they want you to know that they've learned a lesson. If they overspent in the past, they've learned that lesson. What else are they thinking about? The Hermit, Virgo. They've done a lot of soul searching, Capricorn, and they felt a little bit isolated where they are. It might just be that they live out in the sticks somewhere, or it could be that they just feel they've got no one else to turn to. What else are they thinking about? Knight of Pentacles. They are thinking, Capricorn, it's been a long time coming. They may feel in the nicest sense you've been dragging your feet, not really wanting to release funds, not really wanting to put your hand in your pocket, only because they may know that you don't have very much. But they may feel, God, you know, it's taken Capricorn months and months and months and months to make a decision to just give me a little bit more. They may feel quietly upset. You know, this is my dad, and, you know, come on, Dad. I know you got a lot more than I have. Can't you give me a little bit more, Dad? You know, I've been going through a tough time. And it may be that this person feels as if you put them off, or you've said, yeah, in a few months, or, well, let's just see how things go. They're a little bit upset. What's on their mind? Yeah, they don't know why, Capricorn, you haven't done more up until now. They're a bit confused. Or they may be wondering if when you actually go to see them, are you going to help them out financially? Or are you going to say to them, okay, well, we're a bit confused as to why you haven't got any money. They're a bit worried, Capricorn. You're just going to give them a lecture and not help them at all. They don't quite know. They don't know. You know, is Dad going to be really helpful here and sort of write me a check or put some money in my account? Is it going to be enough, you know? Or is Dad going to stand there and say, well, son or daughter, you got yourself into this, you get yourself out of it? They don't know how you're feeling. What is their situation? Yeah, they're clutching hold of 4 Pentacles. They may be trying to hang on to a house. They may be desperately trying to pay a mortgage or make sure they're not kicked out by the landlord. They don't have very much. They've got 4 Pentacles. What's going on in your mind, Capricorn? This is when you're planning on seeing them. You're going to travel to see them. The Star. You want to heal this connection, because you may feel things have been testy between you two for a while. The High Priest, Taurian energy. You may be speaking to an Aquarian or a Taurian here, but the High Priest is you wanting to follow a very traditional process. It's almost as if you're thinking, well, I gave this person a small amount. It obviously wasn't enough. Now I'm thinking I should give them a little bit more. Is it going to be enough? I don't know what I'm going to do if it's not. Is this person going to say, Dad, I want to come and live with you? Or, Mom, I want to move back with you and Dad? Or is this person going to get to the point where they are so stressed out, they pull their finger out and they actually get their head down and find a way of supporting themselves? Which for many of you, you're going to be thinking, well, that's what they really should do. But everyone has to deal with life circumstances that they don't expect, you know. This person, for instance, may have signed on the dotted line for a very expensive rental flat and then found themselves redundant. I mean, you know. So they've got to pay their rent up until the end of their lease. Maybe they're floundering trying to find another job. Maybe they didn't get a lot of redundancy. And they're coming to you saying, well, hand in the air, yeah, I should have put more savings away in the past, but I didn't know this was going to happen, you know. What are you going to say to this person? Because you're going to go and see them. King of Wands. Okay, Capricorn. The first thing you're going to say to this person is, I'm going to do something to help. That's what I'm getting from that card. You're coming through as the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. I am going to do something to help. So what you're saying to this person is, I'm not just here to say hello, I am going to do something to try and help you. The thing is, Cappy, what is it? Is it, you know, I'm going to do a couple of food shops for you and then see you later? Or is it going to be you saying, I've decided to do something pretty major to give you a large amount of money? What are you going to do, Capricorn? Four of Swords. I think you're going to suss out this person's situation. Are they playing the victim? As in, do you think they could be financially okay, but they're just thinking, oh, Dad can help me a bit financially. Yeah, Dad's got money, right? What are you going to do here, Caps? You may start, this poor person, Capricorn, you may start off by giving them a little bit of a talking to. I mean, this is you saying, son, sit down. Okay, I know you spent too much money in the past. What happened to the money that you earned when you were in that high-flying job? Didn't you put any money in savings? You're going to give them a bit of a tough time. It could just be a dad or a mum thing to do. What else are you going to say? King of Swords. But you do have a plan, okay? So what are you going to do? What is your plan? Ace of Cups. Cappy, are you planning on being a little bit strategic? Because what I see here is what you're saying to this person is, of course I'm going to take action. Of course I'm going to do something to help. But then what we've got here is you giving them a bit of a lecture, telling them a few home truths and saying to this person, I care about you. Is that it? Oh, might have jogged the camera. Is that it? What else are you going to say? Magician. Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. What's the Magician? What are you trying to manifest here? You're trying to manifest justice, which means, Capricorn, you're trying to manifest balance in the situation, but you don't seem to be saying to this person, I can help you financially. You're saying, I care about you. Of course, I'm going to do something to help. Of course, I'm going to take action. You know, I care about you, but where's the actual support? This is you patting your son on the back saying, well, son, you know, your mum and dad are always here for you. Don't worry too much about it. Yeah, you know, it's a difficult time you're going through. You want to balance things out and tell this person you care, but you're not actually doing anything material to help. What's justice? Yeah, Capricorn, I don't think you actually plan on helping this person financially at all. Because this is you thinking, okay, I'm just going to try and go in and balance the situation, right? Smooth everything over, care about you, and then you're going to go back. You're coming in just to smooth the waters over. But you're not going to give this person any additional money. How is this person going to feel? Are they going to accept that? Sorry, guys, just dropped the cards. Are they going to accept that? Shadow side. They may feel, Capricorn, you're up to something. They may feel you're not being honest about something. There's a reason why you're keeping everything, you know, under wraps or to yourself, or you're not helping them. What are they thinking here? They may be thinking you might have got yourself into trouble, or they may be feeling as if there might have been a situation relating to a Scorpio that changed everything. They're sitting stressing, thinking, okay, well, Dad's just come to say hi. It might be you and your partner. I'm just saying Dad because I've got the King of Pentacles here and the King of Wands. This could be a child, right? I think what they are realizing is you aren't actually going to do anything practical to help. They're slightly stressed out because for them it was make or break. As in, if Dad doesn't do anything more, then I'm going to be in trouble. I'm not going to be able to carry on living where I'm living or whatever this is. What they're realizing is, Caps, you're not planning on doing anything more to help them. What are they thinking? Okay, it's just down to me. It's just down to me. All right. I've got to work my butt off to get myself out of this. How are they going to react towards Capricorn after this meeting? They may have the courage to tell you, Capricorn, that they are in a difficult situation. It was nice to see you, Dad, right? But nothing's changed for me because you haven't done anything extra here, or you weren't able to help me. Or they may just hold back from you, Capricorn, feeling disappointed. What is the energy between you two? What is the energy? I'm seeing that swimmer again. Interesting. Doing a front crawl. Page of Swords. Okay. Yeah, the energy between you two, Capricorn, is going to be a bit testy. They may be very short with you on the phone or on email the next time you talk. Because basically what they're saying to you is, interesting, we've got what looks like a son here, but it could be a daughter. What we've got here is someone saying, Dad, I've got problems here. Difficult message of truth. I've got problems here. And what they're getting from you is also a difficult message of truth. I care about you. You know, I want to make sure you're all right. I just want to smooth things over with you. See you, say hello, you know, go out and have coffee, whatever this is. But I'm not going to be able to help you financially. What is interesting is you're still sat fearful of delving into your emotion, Caps. This is all logic. This is all logic. You're saying to this person you care. You're saying to this person you're there. You want to support them. You know, give me a ring if you're having a bad day. But you're not doing anything practical based on your emotion. After this time, what you're hoping is that it's not going to cause a wedge between you two, but there is going to be some good news in the future. So what is the good news? What is the good news? Six of Wands. Well, the good news is, Capricorn, you may have a windfall, which puts you in the Six of Wands, which means you can help this person a lot more. Or the good news, Capricorn, is this person saying to you, it's okay, Dad, I've got a new job, or I'm doing well in my business now, it's okay. Could be this person. So is this you? Is this person? I think this is an adult child of yours, Caps. Oh, Queen of Wands. There could be some very good news about a Queen of Wands. Tell us about the Queen of Wands. Tell us about the Queen of Wands. Eight of Wands. Okay. Capricorn, there could be some really good news from a Queen of Wands who is going to be messaging you to say, okay, Capricorn, well, you can't help this person, but I can. Now, if you've split from, say, your baby mama or your wife, this would be, you know, the child's mother saying, well, you can't help this person, Caps. They always went to you for help, but I can help them. It could be, Capricorn, another member of your family who is a Queen of Wands, who is messaging you to say, well, I'm doing pretty well in my job. I can help this person. What are you going to say to this person? You're going to say thank you. Oh, that's great. That's great. Could be another child of yours who's helping a sister or brother here. It could be your ex. Could be your wife. I think this Queen of Wands is saying, don't worry, I can help. Yeah. And what's going to happen here then? I think with the Sun, there's going to be enlightenment, that it's not all up to you, Capricorn. It's not just your responsibility to help this person out. Someone else is coming in to say, well, I can give this person some money. It's all right. Could be a Leo female for some of you. There's going to be massive relief, and you may even travel back to see this person to say, look, I couldn't really help you before, but I can help you now because this Queen of Wands is able to help. Or this could be this person's mom, right? What else are you going to say to this person? Page of Cups. Yeah, I think this is an older child, Capricorn, who's struggling. I think what you're going to say to this person is, I'm sorry I couldn't do anything before. I can now, thanks to the Queen of Wands, I can now. I'm sorry I couldn't before. It's as if finally, Capricorn, you're delving into your emotion. What is this person's reaction? Okay, great. Finally, I can get moving in my life. Finally, I feel as if I can sort of put one foot in front of the other and begin to sort of sort my finances out now. They know that with this extra money, they can move forward. All right, Caps, final card for you. What is your energy in this? What are you thinking at this point? Okay, it's done. It's sorted. I took charge with the energy of the Emperor. I didn't have to sell my house, or I didn't have to take out a massive loan for this person. We managed it, I'm hearing, within the family. Okay, good. Yeah. So Capricorn, this is going to end well. I think that you were reticent to give a lot to this person because you sort of wanted them to learn a bit of a lesson. I'm not surprised. Initially, they're not going to be very happy with that. They're going to think, great, Dad, you know, you kind of left me in it. But this Queen of Wands is going to kind of save the day. And I think she's going to be messaging you to say, don't worry, I'm on the case. I've got a good job, or I'm doing well. I can help out. Now, this Queen of Wands could be anyone in the family. I think you're then going to apologize to this person, travel back to see them. Their reaction is, thank God. And finally, Capricorn, this is going to be sorted out. You're going to sit in the energy of the Emperor. Great. So, guys, an interesting reading. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if this resonated with you. I'd be very interested to hear if this is your story. Take care of you. And of course, I'm sending love and light your way and many blessings. Bye, Caps.